An ancient language was decoded using AI, and they discovered something surprising. Today, what used to be impossible can now be possible. This is because of artificial intelligence, or AI, which continues to change our world and our daily lives. Even ancient artifacts can now be decoded by AI. That's why in this video, we'll find out what AI has discovered. But before we start, please like and subscribe to this video. This is a big help for us content creators. Thank you very much. So, let's begin. Number 1. Herculaneum Scrolls. The Herculaneum Scrolls are ancient writings found in the Villa of the Papyri in Herculaneum. Herculaneum is a city in Italy that was buried by ash and lava when Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. These scrolls were discovered in the 1700s and are considered the only ancient library found still intact. Because of the extreme heat from the eruption, the papers were burned and became very fragile, making them hard to read. Many experts tried to read them, but the papers often got destroyed when they tried to open them. Because of that, experts searched for a way to read the scrolls without damaging them. So, in the year 2023, a competition called the Vesuvius Challenge was launched. Its goal was to encourage technology and artificial intelligence experts to find a way to read the scrolls using modern technology. One of the biggest successes came when a scroll from the Bodleian Library in Oxford was scanned using X-ray technology. Because of that, a three-dimensional version of the scroll was created, allowing it to be read without actually opening it. In the first part of the discovered text, a few Greek letters and words appeared. Although only a small part has been read, this was already a big success because it proved that there was still writing inside the scrolls. According to researchers, many of the scrolls contain writings by Philodemus, an Epicurean philosopher. One of his writings talks about happiness and how it does not depend on wealth or possessions. According to him, something is not more enjoyable just because it is rare compared to things we often see. It means that true happiness does not come from material things, but from the right outlook in life. Thanks to modern technology like AI and X-ray scanning, it is now easier to read the scrolls. And in the year 2024, more parts of one scroll were opened, revealing new information about the beliefs of ancient philosophers. Because of this, we now better understand how people thought during ancient times. Number 2. Old Aramaic inscriptions. Old Aramaic is an ancient language used in the Middle East around the 10th century BCE. Many writings in this language have been discovered in different parts of the world. When experts decoded them, they found a lot of information about how people lived in the past, as well as their culture, laws, and beliefs. One of the most famous inscriptions found is the Tel Fekeriye inscription. It was discovered in Syria and was written in 2 languages. It tells the story of a local king named Hadad Yis'i and his accomplishments. This shows that the Aramaic language was used as an important language for communication because it connected different cultures and races. Another important inscription is the Zincirli inscription from Turkey. It tells about the life and rule of King Panamua II of Samal. He described his achievements as a king and his faith in the god Hadad. This shows how ancient rulers used religion to strengthen their power and influence over their people. Aside from stories about kings, there were also inscriptions related to laws and agreements. One example of this is the Sephaya Stele found in Syria. It contains an agreement between different kings. It includes rules on how the agreement should be followed and the punishments for those who disobey. This shows that even in ancient times, there were already established laws and treaties to maintain peace among kingdoms. There were also writings related to daily life. For example, some ostraca, or pieces of pottery, were found with Aramaic writing. These were used to record business transactions, such as lists of goods and trade records. This shows how important writing was in the daily lives of ancient people, especially in trade and business. Number 3. Oracle bone inscriptions. The oracle bone inscriptions are the earliest form of writing in China. They can be found on animal bones and turtle shells. They were discovered during the Shang dynasty. The ancient Chinese used them to ask questions to their gods about the future, which is why they became important in studying the history of China. The oracle bones were used for divination or fortune-telling. The king or ruler would ask a question about something, such as war, harvest, or weather. Then priests or shamans would write the question on the bone or shell. After that, they would heat it until cracks appeared. The shape of the cracks was used to determine the answer to the question. They then wrote the answer on the bone as a record of the event. More than 160,000 pieces of oracle bones have been found by experts. Among these, there are 4,300 different symbols or characters discovered. But only about 1,600 of them are clearly understood by experts, and until now, studies continue to understand the rest of the symbols and messages written on the bones. Aside from questions about war and harvest, the inscriptions also contain important information. There are records about the names of kings, rituals, earthquakes, eclipses, diseases, floods, and droughts. This shows that the ancient Chinese loved to predict the future to know what would happen next. However, decoding the writings on oracle bones is difficult and takes a long time. Experts need to study the ancient Chinese language deeply. To understand the writings, they compare them with newer forms of writing. Sometimes they also use the meaning of whole sentences to identify what the still unknown symbols mean. Number 4. Indus script artifacts. The Indus script is an ancient writing system used in the Indus Valley Civilization, which existed around 2600 to 1900 BCE. This civilization was located in South Asia, mainly in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. The Indus script is found on seals, pottery, tools, and small tablets made of stone or clay. Until now, it remains one of the biggest mysteries in archaeology because no one has fully decoded it. The writings are made up of short symbols, usually 3 to 20 signs, that look like pictures or drawings. They include human figures, animals, plants, and shapes that seem to represent words or ideas. Experts believe these symbols may be connected to language, religion, or trade. Many of these seals also show animals like bulls, elephants, and unicorn-like creatures. Some have suggested that these represent gods or have religious meaning. There are also seals used in trading, showing names or marks of merchants. That means they might have served as a kind of signature or ID in business deals. However, decoding the Indus script has been very difficult because no one has found a Rosetta Stone type of discovery, a version of the writing that can be compared with a known language. Many experts have tried different methods. Some used computers and AI to find patterns in the writing. One study by researchers from India and Finland showed that the sequence of symbols in the Indus script follows logical patterns, which means it might really be a language. But until now, there is still no agreement about how to read it or what it really means. Some believe that the Indus script may not represent spoken language at all, but rather symbols for families, tribes, or religious beliefs. Whatever the case, the Indus script continues to attract the interest of experts around the world. With the help of AI and new technology, many believe that one day we will finally understand the secrets of this ancient writing. Number 5. Linear B tablets. Linear B is an ancient writing system used by the Mycenaeans in Greece more than 3,500 years ago. Tablets with this writing were found in places such as Knossos in Crete and Pylos on the Greek mainland. At first it was hard to read because the symbols looked very strange, but in 1952 an expert named Michael Ventris was able to decode it. When the content of the tablets was understood, they were found to contain records about the daily life of the Mycenaeans, including their economy, government, religion, and management of the people. Meanwhile, one of the most common contents of these tablets is about goods and wealth. They include lists of materials that people made and how they were used in their daily lives. For example, one tablet found in Pylos recorded tripods and containers used for rituals and feasts. This also shows how important feasting was in their culture. Large banquets were organized by the rulers. Aside from the objects, there were also records about offerings to their gods. Experts found lists of offerings such as wool dedicated to gods like Hera and Hermes, and also to a goddess they called Potnia, or mistress. This shows that religion was an important part of their lives. They offered different things to show their devotion. There were also lists of people written on these tablets. These included workers, artisans, farmers, and other laborers who worked for the palace. It is clear that their society was well organized. The rulers managed the economic activities, and the people had their own roles. In addition, another important aspect of these tablets is the records of transactions and trade. They listed what products they distributed, stored, and exchanged, including oil, wine, grain, wool, and other crops. This shows that the Mycenaeans had a well-structured trade system and even traded with other places. Now, we are in a time where technology, especially artificial intelligence, continues to grow. Because of AI, ancient writings that used to be unreadable are now being decoded. Through this, we are slowly uncovering the stories, knowledge, and wisdom of ancient civilizations. Each symbol, each writing, is like a message from the past that helps us understand who we are today. AI gives us the chance to bring back the voices of people who lived thousands of years ago. Because of this, the past becomes alive again, not only in books or museums, but also through the screens we use every day. And this is proof that no matter how long time has passed, knowledge will never disappear. It will only wait for us to rediscover it.